There, now it's a single dot.
Okay, so now it's recording.
So now it's recording.
Okay, so here we have about 3 days, 4 days worth of mixture. This satch with the grains, with the kefir grains at the bottom, and about 2 quarts of milk. And we just sat it on the table and let it rise and ferment all by itself, wrapped it up in a towel. So now we're going to go ahead and pour it through this sieve and separate the grains out for future reference, for future kefir making.
Mm-hmm. And what we have here in the setup, we have this nice large funnel. We got this from an auto supply house nearby. It had a screen at the bottom that we've punched out, a metal screen. So it flows all the way through. You can see there. And we set that there, and this is just a plastic colander that we have that fits very neatly into the top here.
When you make kefir, you cannot use metal equipment at all. It has to be either plastic or glass. So that's kind of stifling as far as what we can put together and use.
What we've talked about that would be really nice would be to create or have created a funnel, large funnel like this. We want something that will hold the volume of 2 quarts, and then a similar ceramic large colander that will fit into the top of the ceramic funnel, so that rather than having this plastic, we would actually then have the nice glaze surface, which would be easy to keep clean, wouldn't have the plasticizing agents. But for the time being, using readily available equipment, this is what we've come up with, and this seems...
Plasticizing agents.
That's what it is.
Okay. This is yummy stuff right here. And by the way, this is whole raw milk that we make.
Yep.
So it's a lot of cream in it.
And so we want to get all that stuff down in here. We don't want to lose any of that wonderful stuff. And so we get all this wonderful stuff in here to get washed in. And you have a choice. I'm of the school that you can get your hands into the middle of it, because that's why they make soap and water, to clean up afterwards, and that's not a problem. Some people are a little more squeamish with that and choose not to. That's fine too. So we pour this on through. See all that wonderful stuff come rushing on through. And this is why you want the large colander, so that it can take the entire contents of this large jar here. Let's scrape out little bits. This time we got pretty much all of it came out. Sometimes there's a lot more residue that sticks to the jar. So then what we're doing is we're just stirring this around to let the liquids flow on through. And what we're trying to do is to separate out the kefir grains that will be in here, and we'll put the kefir grains back into here with another batch of milk to start the process again.
And this is it's not necessary that you wash this. In fact, it's even beneficial that you don't, because so much of the culture is left in here that you don't need to wash it.
At some point, and maybe after a number of cycles, it's good to wash it.
Depends on who you're talking to.
But certainly we go a number of cycles before we've switched it out, and I think that that's just fine. Some of it has to do with how you use your process. One of the things about using raw milk, good healthy raw milk.
He's pulling the grains out right now.
Yeah, these are the grains here.
Put it up next to the camera so we can see.
Yeah, we'll get a nice clump of...
And how do you tell the grains from the kefir?
You can feel it. It's like little bits of, well, maybe rice or something like that are these little bodies in here. They feel like maybe more like barley that's been soaked, so it's not hard, they're soft. And one of the things is that as you soak this out, or as you process this out, there may be some grains that get through into the kefir, because at the end, when we're done getting most of the grains out, we'll take what's left of here and put it into what we're going to drink. It's okay to eat the kefir grains. There is no problem whatsoever with that. So if a few of the kefir grains get into what you eat, that's perfectly all right. But here you can see what some of these things look like, hopefully. There's not much to see, but it's more feel it than see it. And so what we do is we just stir around in here until most of the what feels like kefir grains has gone out, and it's mostly just, I guess, the whey or whatever that's left.
Curds.
Curds, okay.
Whey is the liquid part.
My nomenclature is a little shy. The other thing I've seen is some people will use like a wooden spoon or something like that, or plastic spoon, to stir this around to send it on through. As I say, I figured just using hands.
Well, eventually you need to get your hands in there to pick out the kefir grains. It's kind of hard to separate them without touching them.
Yeah, that's very true.
They look a lot like the curds. It's just the texture, the feel of them is different.
Yeah. Let me see if I can actually separate out.
And these multiply.
Yeah.
These
so
kefir grains.
Here, this again is some kefir grains that I've actually pulled out that you can maybe see a bit of the sort of soft body, like I say, like rice or barley that's been well soaked and has some soft and yielding feel to it, but it feels like a grain as opposed to the other, which just feels like general
Cottage cheese, maybe?
well, yeah, and cottage cheese, where you can see the curds in the cottage cheese, and then the stuff that is around the curds in the cottage cheese. Although these, I think, have more body and texture to them than the curds in cottage cheese would if you were to handle the cottage cheese. So here I'm getting down. There are probably a few kefir grains left in here, but most of this is pretty well separated out. We've got most of the grains out.
We have the lights behind us.
Most of the curds and other stuff have gone on through the sieve, and there's only the really thick-bodied stuff that's left here. So I think we're going to call that good enough, and then the next step will be just take and scrape all this wonderful stuff into the funnel. So they will go on down and provide the wonderful stuff for us to drink. We'll clean the back side also off. Don't want to waste any of this good stuff. And we'll just...
To Julia Child used the word stuff.
Yes. Wonderful stuff. Luscious stuff.
You're luscious stuff.
And
Okay.
that pretty well cleans this all out. And so, and if you want to take that one and rinse that, and I will then take this funnel and get the last of it on through into here, cleaning out the inside of the funnel. The stuff that sticks to the funnel, you want to go on down. I think that's another advantage of the ceramic or glass thing, if we could have that made, is that the surface, this would not stick as much to the surface, whereas with this plastic, it sticks more to it. Right there. And clean that all up. And so here you have the wonderful kefir all set and ready to drink. And it will, you can already see it separating a little bit in there. So before you drink it, you want to shake it up a bit. And then in here, you have all the wonderful kefir grains all set and ready to receive more milk.
You right now?
And So here we have the...
Usually we use this Clervail's raw milk in glass containers over the plastic, but our local co-op was out, so we bought the organic pasture. Just pour it in.
Yep.
And we bought these glass jars specifically for this project because it holds 2 quarts. It seems like what we use in about 3 or 4 or 5 days maybe. We go through 2 quarts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there it goes. And we take this top. This top is designed, this particular top, so you can put it on and you can tighten it. When you're processing it, we leave it loose. Just sitting there. And that would be it. And that's everything.
Because we're experiencing winter in August, we wrap it up.
Not sure how important that is or
Well,
isn't,
it does
but
need to be kept warm, and with our kitchen window open, it's kind of chilly in here.
yeah. So certainly with cool temperatures, it slows the activity of the kefir grains. And
and there we are. We're all set, and we're ready and producing more wonderful kefir. Just like that.
All right, groovy.
okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I was also going to mention about one of the advantages of raw milk over pasteurized milk. The raw milk still has the live organisms in it that help retain it and retain its purity, so that agents such as salmonella organisms and such that might get into it, the organisms in the raw milk will actually outcompete the salmonella and will eliminate the salmonella from contamination, whereas in pasteurized milk, you've killed all the organisms that are in it. So if it chances to get contaminated with something like salmonella, the salmonella population can rise very dramatically to the point where it's a real health risk. So that's one of the reasons why we use raw milk that has been properly and safely produced.